It may not be hip-hop, but it's definitely a quotable. Kevin Love gets 5 mics for this one. Here's the quote. We have a lot of things to get better at. It's going to take a lot of guys looking at themselves in the mirror, and it all starts with our leader over there and dwindles on down. I don't think he meant to say dwindles, but he's a basketball player, so we'll let it slide. Here's my thing, though. When I looked back at that clip, he kind of made a pause, so I'm not sure if he's tying that statement together with LeBron. I thought maybe there was a change of thought or idea. Ahmad, you want to chime in on this, though?
Yeah, I think it's blown out of proportion a little bit from the media. It's a generalized statement. It does start with the leader. LeBron James is the leader, but it's also the rest of the team. Bottom line, listen, LeBron played terrible. Kyrie did. And the guy that said the quote, Kevin Love, didn't play well.
He played the worst.
He played the worst.
But I said it starts with them, and it comes to all of us, too.
Yeah, it should start with him.
Some frustration, too, as well.
But Dan, quickly, do you believe that the statement was directed at LeBron James?
To quote the late, great David Bowie, I'm never going to fall for modern love. Okay, that's what you had up there, modern love. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay? It's a song by David Bowie.
I know it is. I like it.
Yeah, you would know
who David Bowie is. We were
I know
in London.
he married Aman.
Okay, that's how he knows him. Perfect. Anyway, Kevin Love, look, of course it's going to be construed or misconstrued by the media. He shouldn't be saying this stuff. Look, LeBron doesn't have to go all out in the regular season. They are in first place. Did Kevin Love watch the playoffs last year? Did he watch the NBA Finals?
All he did
While the
was
team
watch.
was 2 games away from winning the title with him with his arm in a sling? Kevin Love, now to quote Mike Wilbon, should shut up and just go out there and play and understand what his role is on that team. Don't be dissing LeBron. That does not work for him.
I don't think he dissed him. I don't think he dissed him. I think he just said, look, we all got to play better. And he just said it in the way that could be misconstrued.
He said in the way that a player who went on
Don't point your finger at the leader. Don't point your finger.
Hold on. Okay, wait, let's go to something else now. Enough picking on Kevin Love. He had a bad game. He rebounded with an 18 and 17 performance. But let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, Cavaliers Warriors. How big is the gap there?
It's huge. I mean, and you saw it last night with the Warriors blowing out the Bulls. Like, the Warriors are legit. This is not going to be...
So should the Cavs be worried? They're 0-3 against both the Spurs and the Warriors. And let's face it, we know they're better than the rest of the league, so these two are the real litmus test.
Everybody was anointing Cleveland as coming out of the East, and I was too.
Has your mind changed?
After that game, I'm not so sure it's going to be that easy. I actually think that
You think what the Warriors
7 games
you think
in
what
the
Warriors
East against
did
Cleveland
can be replicated by other teams?
No, I think if it's Toronto, I think they're going to give them a series. I think Chicago would give them a series. I think anybody that plays Cleveland will make it tough on them. I just don't think LeBron is, and LeBron's amazing and he's dominant. I just don't think he's as dominant as he was.
He's kind of like you, dominating all the talking points in this show right now. Huh? Come on, jump in here.
The Western Conference is pretty deep. 0-3 is 0-3, but they need to make adjustments. Watch the game tape, but it's tough. It's tough. You know, watching Golden State blow them out. I think I tuned in the second quarter and stopped watching at the third quarter. I mean, crown Stephen Curry's second championship.
Okay, so, I mean, according to you, everybody's going to play them like the Warriors do, but let's just think about this for a second.
Didn't say that.
If they're really going to push for a title, do they make a move closer to the deadline? We've heard the inklings that Mozgov may be on the table there for other teams to come pick at and see what they have to offer. But do you think they stay the course with this group? I'll start with you, Dan, and then we'll move on. Or do they make a trade? Because I know Randy's going to get in here eventually.
I mean, making trades in the NBA, it's a very difficult proposition.
Unless you're Masai Ujiri.
During the season, it's just more. It's difficult, and you're really testing your chemistry.
Wait, they did make a trade for Mozgov last year.
They did last year, and they rolled the dice on it, and it worked out. Now Mozgov isn't working out. I don't think the solution for Cleveland right now is let's go make a trade. Who's coming in? I think they need to stay the course. They still are the favorite in the East. They're in first place. LeBron's going to turn it on as the season keeps getting deeper and deeper. I wouldn't change anything.
I agree with Dan. You got to keep everything the same. I mean, it got them to the NBA Finals.
Us? Okay. Someone's a low-key Cavs fan who won't tell me. All right.
It got Cleveland to the finals. Hopefully they make the adjustments, but you got to stick with your big guns. Kyrie. I mean, we didn't have them last year. They didn't. It wasn't in the books for them last year. So.
Okay.
If I'm Cleveland, hold on. What else do you need?
Tell me, hold on.
You have the second best player argument in the world. You have an all-star stretch
best
for
player.
LeBron. I think Steph right now is the best player.
Oh, are we doing this again?
No, I'm just saying, what else?
Shut
up.
What else do you need?
I got
What
other
else do you
stuff
need?
to talk about.
You have an all-world
Hey,
point
Randy,
guard.
I agree, I'm
other
with you.
things we need to talk about.
Where?
Okay?
Here?
The Warriors took out the Bulls. Despite the fact that the Bulls' backcourt played very well, Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose were the first backcourt to outscore Klay and Steph. But my argument's about the two-guard position, and I'll let you start since you want to talk so much. Who's your favorite, or who's the best two-guard in the league right now? Is it the sharpshooting Klay Thompson or the two-way killer that is Jim Butler?
It's a toss-up for me between Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, and DeMar DeRozan, actually.
Oh, really? You're putting DeMar in there?
I think DeMar is, Brad Stevens said last night, he was really good 2 years ago, but he's even making tougher shots more often this year. He is amazing. Like Brad Stevens couldn't say enough.
So when I asked you to pick one of the two...
I'm going to go with my guy, DeMar DeRozan.
Let's recap what just happened. I asked you to pick one of the two, and then you gave me a third person.
Okay,
and
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, because I like defense.
Thanks. Ahmad, your turn.
It's a tough decision for me. Klay Thompson, and that's not taking away anything. Klay Thompson is an amazing player, but Jimmy Butler, for me, defensive stopper.
Yeah.
Brings a physical, brings a physical edge. He can guard guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, on the wing. Klay Thompson relies more on his shot, getting out on the break. He's just not strong enough. So for me, Jimmy Butler.
All right, now our in-house Warriors expert, who actually will publicly deny that he's a Warriors expert, but tell us.
Look,
who's better?
If you take Jimmy Butler off the Chicago Bulls, right now, I don't know if they're even in the playoff hunt. I mean, they're in the hunt, but I don't know if they're in the top 8. Klay Thompson, an amazing ball player and a great three-point shooter, but I mean, we've all touched on it. The two-dimensional play of Butler, offense and defense, I think puts him in the sake of this argument, puts him ahead of Thompson. But I like the DeMar argument as well.
Oh, you would.
He looked like Kobe Bryant
prime
last night.
All right, here's the final question to close out this block. Do you think this version of the Bulls can do what Tom Thibodeau's version of the Bulls couldn't do, which is finally make an NBA final and win?
No. I don't think they can make the NBA Finals. I think they can get to the East Finals where they would lose to a Cleveland or a Toronto.
Do you think Thibodeau's team would have lost by 36 last night?
No, the measuring stick is what they do at the
Definitely
end
not.
of the year, though.
Yeah, I just don't see them.
They were
I don't
really
see them
good
doing that.
defensively with Thibodeau. I don't
End
think
of
they're
year
gonna
one
get
of this
blown out by
regime.
36.
It's year one of this regime. All right, listen, we got to go to break. When we come back from the second break of the show, we got to talk about the Canadians. This is Canada's home for talking hoops. Canada wants to make it to Rio de Janeiro for the next Olympic battle. And Kelly Olynyk, Kels, he's got room keys. He's going to try and help take us there. We'll be back with more on Canada's home for hoops. Head out!